All right, so this is the story of how I always wanted to be lead guitarist in a metal band or a punk band, but I finally accepted that I'm a pianist. So I'm Richard Kasperowski. My music project is called Sótano Épico. I have to call it a music project because it's not a band, because it's just me. Uh, and I'm my day job is that I'm co-founder and CTO of a health tech company, a gov tech health tech company. We help first responders with their mental health. We use AI and help first responders with mental health. I've got lots of fun projects on the side, and this is one of them. There will be 2 digital interactions. Join me there. Oh, and we've got the Apple stuff. So if I do stuff like that, you see balloons. Um, Scan the QR code with your digital interaction device, which is also called a phone, or type menti.com and type in that 8-digit number. For people who are in the room, I brought gifts because, like any cool band, I have stickers. And if you get lucky, there's temporary tattoos as well. That's really cool. Oh, great. Some people are there. So before I did this startup, I was also sort of a professional speaker, and I would get people to interact with me doing stuff like this. So on a scale of nope, not at all to hell yeah, do you love music and technology? Are you great at music production? And then I pause and take a sip of water. And it always works this way somehow. I don't know how that happens, but it always works that we really want it, but we're not good at it yet. And therefore, I'm here. And there's somebody there who answered, hell yeah, I think. Somebody here is hell yeah. Also, some of these images on the first screen, this is a album cover for the single that's being launched on Tuesday the 13th. And if you're old enough, you'll recognize that this album cover. So my music is covers of really awesome metal and punk songs. And my designer, I have this guy who's a really great visual designer. He just knows what to do. So this cover is a cover of the original cover as well. And this cover is also from the first EP I did. And so here's the whole story. A long time ago, I was a teenager in a rock band. And one of my mom's neighbors kept this cutout from the newspaper. I don't know why my mom's neighbor kept a cutout of me, but she did. And then she gave it to my mom, I don't know, about 6 months ago. So I had this cool band, but I really wanted it to be a metal band, but it wasn't. It was just sort of like a pop rock band. I played keyboards. I really wanted to be a guitarist still. And I also had a guitar. I would just hack at it, but that really kind of suck. I've been playing with computers and piano and keyboard since I was about 10 or 11. And I started doing this when I was a teenager. It was super fun. And then I moved over here to Boston. You can tell this is the West Springfield record. I grew up in West Springfield, Massachusetts. And then I came here to Boston. I left the band. They played for another like year or something without me. And that was that. But this music project, this band, Sótano Épico, with my awesome graphic designer who just knows what to do. In the year 2000, you might remember there was a pandemic. Remember that, right? Heard of that? 2020? Yeah, I'm off by 20. Yeah, 2020, there was a pandemic. Where I live, and it happens around here too, they call it like Alston Christmas or Christmas in July or something. Everybody was clearing out their houses. Everybody was doing spring cleaning and like really deep spring cleaning around where I live in Newton. And I was taking a walk one day. It was late at night. I was tired. and somebody threw away a digital piano. Now, I hadn't really been playing piano for about 30 years. Somebody threw it away. I walked up the door. They were like, I was like, does this work? And woman said, I don't know. My kids, who are like in their 30s or something, told me it doesn't work. So I just put it out there on the street in the trash. I was really mad because I was tired and I just actually wanted to go to bed, but I had to come back and take the piano. And I started playing piano again. I started doing like really serious daily practice, daily like real training, but very specific training. I didn't want to play any classical music or any of that kind of training. I just wanted to play the music I like. So I really started doing blues piano training, which it turns out translates well to lots of other fun stuff. Um, and that's how this project got started back in 2020. Since then, here's another album cover or a single cover. I've been able to publish a bunch of songs. I think art doesn't exist if there's no audience, so I had to somehow share this with people, and this is what I've been sharing. Oh, and here's the example. You've been hearing this as the sound check. This is the most recent single I did back in December, I think.
Crack it down, all is gone except the will to be. Now they see what will be, blinded eyes to see. For whom the bell tolls, time marches on. For whom the bell.
So I'm taking like the idea, jazz musicians have the idea of the standards, right? Everybody, I can't, but everybody except me can play the standards. You can just sit in with any band and you can play the standards. I think there are standards, or there's like the standards of metal and the standards of punk, and I'm kind of playing the standards my way. I'm gonna share a lot of stuff really shallow, and if anybody wants to go deeper into things, we can do that like afterward or another time or in between these things. It'll be fun. Um, so here's like the idea. I get an idea for a song. I arrange it for piano and voice. I record it, I edit it, mix it, all the stuff. It takes anywhere from a month to 3 or 4 months, depending on the song and how long it takes me to arrange it and rehearse it and be able to play it. I'm actually playing everything. It's not like I'm not like typing this in with a really cool keyboard. I'm performing. Um, I perform all these things, like I can play and sing at the same time. I don't do that when I'm recording because I want the piano to sound good and the voice to sound good. Um, all the music is guitar music, right? Guitar, drums, bass, two guitars, a singer, maybe more than one singer. Arranging that or translating that sound to piano and voice, to one person playing a piano and one person singing, is interesting. And so that's one of the challenges. Like, how do you take something that's like really hard rocking, like distorted guitars, distorted bass? And I've intentionally, since 2020, I've intentionally just decided I play piano. I'm not playing. When I was a kid, I would like take my synth and run it through guitar amps and stuff and make it sound like a guitar. I play piano. I have a piano. There's no pitch wheel on it. There's nothing else. It's a piano. It's set up at standard piano height. It's got 3 pedals. It's a piano. So take that instrument and be able to play like metal on it and sound something like the original. And because I always wanted to be a lead guitarist, if there's a guitar solo, I'm going to play that guitar solo. And that's interesting because I can't bend strings. I can't slide up and down the fretboard. There's no like microtones. Somebody's doing that in their guitar solo. You just have to figure out something that works on piano. And the piano is a really big instrument. If I was playing that piano right now, you wouldn't be able to hear me singing. I just don't have a strong enough voice. Pianos are big and loud, and bigger and louder than most humans. So learning how to make space for my voice, I'm not a professional engineer or producer, so learning how to help my voice stand out through all that sound is interesting. So taking guitar parts, translating them to piano is interesting. Here's an example of an original and then my version of it. And this might work. Start at 219, right around here. We might wait for it to play. Here's a song everybody know. Right, there's guitar solo. It's a distinctive guitar solo. He plays it the same way every time. This is live. The recording is live. He screams. He's got this distinctive voice. I don't scream. And then here's another version of it while it loads over the network. Imagine that's the guitarist playing piano.
Well, I'm back. Yes, I'm back. Well,
That's the idea. It's an example of an original and my arrangement and performance of it. For arranging, I'm using, if anybody's used OnSong as a performance tool, it's a good tool for just put it on the piano or put it in front of you on a stand and play along with it. Sometimes I'm arranging using staff pad, which is really fancy draw notes on a real composition paper, and it turns out really nice. That it's the 12.9-inch iPad is really important to me because that's the size of a piece of paper, and I want a piece of paper on the piano in front of me. And I don't know if this happens to any of you. I get a lot of really creative ideas when I'm dreaming, or almost dreaming, or just was dreaming. So taking care of myself and getting good sleep is like the way to get ideas. I'm trying to think of how to arrange something right now. Here's an example of OnSong on the left. What's the name of this thing? Staff pad on the right, and the output from staff pad there, sort of in the middle. Right, so it produces a real score, and you draw on it with the pencil. Yeah, you draw on the draw with the pencil. It draws the notes like that. It's like the pencil is the input device, and it draws them like that. It takes a long time to get used to the drawing technique, but once you do, like I wouldn't be able to do it right now. I haven't done it in about 6 months. But once you get good at it, it's pretty cool, and you just circle notes and drag them up and down and move them around. Recording, here's some of the gear I use. I got this really nice digital piano that feels like a really awesome grand piano. It's like really important to me that it feels good. There's a piano in the park where I live. It's always the worst piano I've ever played. The action is uneven. One of the black keys is broken. The keys don't spring back up. This is a really nice piano. I hate playing pianos in people's houses because they're never tuned right. It's a really great piano. Running it through like old-fashioned MIDI, the one with the circular connector and all that, through a digital audio interface to this computer, to Logic, and a really awesome piano plugin called Noir. And then for my vocals, I got this nice mic with a little cloud lifter for it. It goes into another audio interface to Logic. And that looks like this. So there's the piano with the 3 pedals and everything, standard piano height. That thing in the middle is a pedal. It's a Bluetooth keyboard that, if you think it's a keyboard that has an up arrow key and a down arrow key, or something like that. Maybe it's left and right, I don't remember. And I use it to turn the pages when I'm playing. It's really nice to have that up my left foot and turn the pages instead of doing this to turn pages. There's the audio interface, and you can see Logic with the piano plugin there. The piano plugin is super cool. I've customized it just a little bit. It's like a super great sample and model of an awesome grand piano, including like pedal sounds. And I've got it so like you can hear the pianist sort of moving in his chair a little bit. and you can hear the hammers moving and everything. It's really nice. There's the mic, there's the cloud lifter, there's the audio interface, the digital interface for the mic. I actually like this digital interface more than like everybody uses a Scarlett. With this one, I don't have to keep pressing the phantom power button every time I turn it on. It just stays on. So I never forget phantom power because it's just on. Uh, editing, MIDI editing. I try to keep it sounding natural and real. So I'm mostly, but it turns out when you're doing a recording, it's different from a live performance. It actually has to sound good. Uh, has anybody read David Byrne's book, How Music Works? Right, so he talks about the difference between a live performance and a recording. In a live performance, you can tell that something happened on stage and your ears adjust to it, your eyes adjust to it. But on a recording, you don't get those cues. So if something's wrong on a recording, it just sounds bad. So you have to fix things. And I'm recording MIDI onto this awesome piano plugin. I'll adjust the timing. What I actually do is I play through it and record it 5 times. And I pick the parts that sound the best and I stitch them together and I adjust the timing. If I played a wrong note that's just wrong, I'll fix it. If I played a wrong note next to a good note, I'll just lower the volume a little bit because I want it to sound like a human was playing, not a computer and somebody typed it in. So it ends up sounding natural, like a human played, like I played it, even though I'm making corrections. And the same thing with the vocal. I sing it 5 times. I pick the parts that sound best. When I discovered Melodyne, it like changed everything, right? Because it turns your voice, I have like monophonic Melodyne. It turns your voice into that same kind of MIDI piano roll. And you can change tempo, you can change loudness, you can change pitch. It's a very natural, I don't want to call it auto-tune, it's a tuner, but it's very natural sounding. And I don't try to over-tune either because I still want it to sound like a human is singing. I really need the help, but I still want it to sound like a human, not like a robot. So I'm using Melodyne for that. Some other plugins, Isotope RX is just an awesome plugin for making things sound good. De-reverbing. My room is pretty good. That mic is very directional. There's still just a tiny little bit of room noise. My mouth makes noises. It's easy to get rid of those clicks, or sometimes I tap something in the room. That's easy to get rid of. It de-esses. Discovering Neutron Unmasked was really cool. To make space for my voice within the piano. So it's a dynamic equalizer, and I've got it, I don't really know what side change means. I've got it side chained to the main vocal. When I'm singing, part of the piano gets a little bit softer. So my voice cuts through a little better. And when I'm not singing, it comes back up. That's cool. So a little bit of creating space with that dynamic EQ. I've also figured out some artificial vocal doubling because I tried real vocal doubling, where it's just like you sing once, you sing again, you play them at the same time. It makes your voice sound bigger because it's actually 2 voices. Turns out if you're correcting the voice with Melodyne, there's nothing to double anymore because it's perfect. And you try to double it with something and it just sounds bad. So sort of artificial vocal doubling, stereo widening, and just a little bit of delay so it sounds like a different voice. Oh, I actually take it and I de-melodyne it a little. So it's not quite on tempo, it's not quite the same pitch, but still very close. And has anybody heard of the VSX headphones and the matching software? Like I thought about making some software. Okay, so the first single I produced, I was really, really proud of it. It sounded awesome. I mixed it on AirPods. I didn't know not to do that. And I published it, and it sounded great on AirPods. And then I played it somewhere else. I was like, this is crap. What happened? It must be these speakers because it sounds great. And then I played it somewhere else and it was crap. So it wasn't the speakers. The VSX, so I thought about writing some software that would simulate different listening environments. So I'd be able to hear what it would sound like in different places. The VSX does that. Somebody wrote some software that it's a set of really flat, equalized, flat frequency response headphones and lots of simulated rooms to listen to the stuff in. It really very, very improved my mixes and how they translate to different systems. So here's just a screenshot of the RX and the Neutron as the sidechain thing for the dynamic EQ. Neutron, the Isotope RX is like ridiculously easy to use. Oh, and far on the left, you can see the whole effects chain for my voice. Oh, there's the unmask the dynamic EQ. There's no music playing, so there's no really cool spectral lines there. And this is the VSX software. You just scroll through these different rooms, listen to what it sounds like in a room, make an adjustment, pick a different room. I just like to go through all the rooms while the music's playing and make adjustments as it goes. And then go back to the beginning and keep going until it doesn't sound bad on any of them. And that's helped a lot, especially with popping sounds like P's and S's and stuff like that. This has helped a lot to sort of bring those to the right place. Finishing touches, making this easy for myself. So somebody else is mechanically mastering it for me. Somebody else is distributing it to all the places. And then I'm doing fun stuff on my own for marketing. It's a hobby project. So eMastered is a pretty good sounding mastering service. My first releases were not mastered at all, and this just makes them sound alive. Mastering, people joke that it's just turn up the volume. It makes things louder, and that's actually important. You have to win the loudness wars. You actually have to. And it does other cool stuff. It makes it sound more alive, more dynamic, does the right stereo separation stuff. Somebody who's good at this, good at mastering could do this. It's just a piano and a voice. Or just pay a little bit of money, and it's really just a little bit of money, and somebody else does it, and it's really a lot better. DistroKid for distributing the music to all the platforms. It's pretty inexpensive again. Oh, and if anybody wants anything mastered or distributed through DistroKid, let me know. I'll do it for you. I've already paid. You don't have to pay. Really. And hobby project website, right? So that's a screenshot of it. Hobby project for mass SMSing people who have definitely subscribed. They've definitely, don't worry. Or they haven't complained. They're all friends. They're all friends. It's cool. I was using a service to do it, but I really just wanted to write my own. So now it's like 1 cent per SMS or something instead of like $20 a month. And it was fun to write the code. Email list, Instagram, TikTok. Apparently, if it doesn't exist on TikTok and YouTube, nobody will find it. So you have to share your music on TikTok and YouTube for people to find it. And if you want people to listen to it more than once, it has to be on Spotify, right? So you just have to. And again, there's no art if there's no audience. So you have to do these things to share music. There's TikTok stuff. I hate doing it. And I think last time, I wasn't here last time, you were talking about using Claude to help you do things. I wasn't going to show you, but I've just throw together a prompt that's like, hey, I'm going to do some social media stuff. I use Buffer to schedule things ahead of time. I can buffer 10 posts without paying for Buffer. Here's some ideas. I have, I'm going to be here on May 8th. Let's make sure we mention that at least once. And I have a single coming out on Tuesday the 13th. Let's make sure we highlight that. Write me 10 social media posts. Tell me what to use for an image or a video. Tell me what to use for caption text. Tell me exactly what day and time I should publish it. And it just does it. And it's pretty much right. And you too can do this. More stuff. Oh, the piano architecture mapping to roles in a band. So, think about that AC/DC song or that Metallica song. There's 4 or 5 musicians, and I'm just one. So the voice, obviously, there's a voice, and those bands don't have backing vocals, so that's easy. Usually my left hand is some combination of the bass and drums, like the rhythm section. My right hand is kind of like the rhythm guitar and the lead guitar. It's kind of obvious, but that's pretty much how all the arrangements always come out. Sometimes something else, but that's pretty much it. Um, Sound masking, so things like getting rid of the room noise, which it's a very quiet room. It's actually my basement, and it's underground on 2 of the walls. The other walls are pretty quiet as well. So it's a pretty quiet room, but it's a small room, and you can actually hear the reverb in the room. The directional mic helps a lot. I've got some sound treatment on the walls. But like the Isotope RX helps a lot. And then using the dynamic EQ to bring down the volume of the frequency ranges of the piano helps my voice come out. And the standards, pick the right songs. And these are really just the songs that are in my part. They're the songs that I love since I was, have you read the research that says the music you were listening to when you were 13 is the music you love? This is the music I was listening to when I was 13. So it's music I love. And I just have the music in my head. It's the stuff I want to play, even though I'm a pianist. I've got a checklist. Like the first time I did this, it was hard because I didn't know what I was doing. I had some idea when I was that teenager in the photo at the beginning. I had a 4-track recorder. It was awesome. I had a drum machine. I was doing stuff on my own. I had a bass guitar. I was tracking all my own stuff. So I sort of knew what to do overall, but now I just have a checklist. I'm just going down the checklist and it's easy. So I got this, and the last song that I produced is just copy as new project, and that's the next song, and it's pretty much all set up. Oh, and I'm a software developer, right? And I'm sort of it's kind of a joke, but not really. I'm small scale famous in the world of agile software development. I teach the course at Harvard called Agile Software Development. I've done like a bunch of talks and keynotes on this stuff. I publish whatever I'm working on every week. So, and I set aside Wednesday mornings to do music editing and recording. Yesterday, Wednesday morning, I published a new version of the next song, work in progress. And however it sounds. And people can tell me it sucks. People tell me it's good. It's just work in progress. The piano isn't edited yet. My voice isn't tuned yet. It's just what it is. And it's important to me to just put it out there, maybe get feedback on it, but actually have something done every week, something new done. That's the weekly release on SoundCloud, free account, no big deal. Just publish it, get it out there. And Friday the 13th, obviously a very metal day. So at Friday the 13th is when I publish collections like EPs and albums. And Tuesday the 13th, it turns out in Latin America is also an unlucky day. So Tuesday the 13th is for releasing singles. So that's why this Tuesday the 13th, there's a new single coming. That's it. Questions, comments? I'd actually love feedback. Go back to that digital interaction device and let me know what you thought. And it's just like, tell me what you thought. Tell me what would make it better. Ask me questions as we go. Yeah.
How your, I mean, I did mention how you have a framework to like put in time music, but you have like
Yeah.
how do you do something similar? Like how do you like offer music production?
All right. How do I fit this into my time? What drives me? I just like making music. I like creating, right? So creating software is one way of creating music is another way. I've written books too. I brought This is an example of a book. One of my hobbies is practicing Spanish as well. So just another thing to do for fun. I wrote a short novel in Spanish just to practice Spanish. And this is based on the story of me being a kid in that band back in the 80s. And this is the story of some kids in a town in make-believe town in Massachusetts, but it's based on every characters, like one of the characters in my band, more or less with a different name. So if anybody wants to check that out, I'll just leave it there. I just set aside time for it. Every Wednesday is music editing day. Every day for 60 to 90 minutes is music making time. And I know what to do with that music making time. It's 20 minutes, it's 5 minutes of vocal practice. It's 15 minutes of just playing songs I like. It's 20 minutes of real piano exercises. And it's 20 more minutes of working on the next song, just like arranging or rehearsing. It's just that, yeah. And every Wednesday, it's set aside time. Every Wednesday morning, it's do the recording and editing. And it's Wednesday mornings because my wife teaches at Boston University, and she's usually not home on Wednesday mornings. So the house is quiet. It's important. If you're going to be like tracking vocals, the house has to be quiet. In the winter, that means turning the heat off because the heat in my house is loud. It's all the stuff that I learned when I was a kid in little recording studios, like turn off the lights because they buzz a little. And it's just, that's Wednesday morning. Yep. How did I come up with that routine? I don't know. Like getting good at anything is really just doing it. So just do it for an hour a day is pretty much what I do. An hour to 75 to 90 minutes a day is just playing music. It didn't take long to rebuild piano technique, and it didn't take long to become a decent enough singer. It's just do it every day. I also have very flexible work hours. Like I put a lot of time into work, but most of my colleagues, we don't have an office. My co-founders in Seattle, person I write code with every day is in California. So I actually have a lot of free time in the morning. We meet, me and my code writing colleague, we meet at 11 o'clock Boston time for our first conversation of the day. It gives me a few hours in the morning to do stuff. Well, I'm still sharing screen. Oh, that's me, of course. You can email me at richard@sotanoepico.com if you want to, or you can just talk to me if you're here in the room. And I gave you stickers if you're here in the room. If you're not here in the room and you want stickers, let me know. I'll send you some. And new single on Tuesday. Listen to it. All the music at sotanoepico.com. You can text to my cool text thing called SMS Blast.
How do the remotes get stickers?
What?
How do the remotes get stickers, Sam?
Tell me you want a sticker and I'll mail it to you.
Yep, that's the answer, Sam.
I'll do it. Spencer and I are friends. He'll just like come to my house and get stickers.
I see. Okay. All right. Thanks, everyone.